and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So yesterday I went to see the new Spider-Man Homecoming film. Now if you watched my last video, you know that I was very excited to see it, and if you watched my Wonder Woman review, you'll know that I'm much more of a Marvel fan than I am a DC fan, so I was excited by this film.
Good evening, Peter. Whoa! You have 576 possible web shooter combinations.
That is awesome. I can keep that suit?
Yeah, doesn't fit me.
So when's our next retreat?
What, next mission? We'll call you. All right?
Spider-Man Homecoming is the newest, well, supposedly a trilogy from Marvel Studios. And people are definitely going to question how they can make a sixth Spider-Man movie. And people will be asking left, right and centre, is this any different to the others? And the answer is, yes it is. So the film throws it back about 8 years to when Loki is destroying New York City in the first Avengers. And this is where we meet our villain Vulture, who is played by Michael Keaton. But then by throwing it forward another 8 years, we see Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, thrilled and excited to be able to help out Tony Stark in Civil War. Throwing it forward 2 months, we see Peter Parker, he's riding the subway, he's waiting for a phone call from Tony Stark to say that he's needed again, and he's just patiently waiting away fighting local crime. So this film really concentrates on the struggle between Peter Parker being able to find a balance between his social life and school and his natural need to want to fight crime and help others. And this really strong conflict is actually where we really see his character grow throughout this film. First off, what I preferred for this film compared to the Amazing Spider-Man movies was actually the CGI. Now in this movie it's really great, but it's also visible. There's a lot of scenes in the other movies where he'll be swinging through the city, but it's really dark and you can't quite pick it out, and it's them trying to hide the fact that the CGI is not quite perfect. Whereas in this movie, it's very credible, it's clear, you see everything he does, and what's impressive is actually, I think Tom Holland did a lot of his own stunts in this because he is quite gymnastic. So I feel like it actually is that character doing that. I feel like in The Amazing Spider-Man it was Peter Parker, he gets into the costume and that's someone else. But in this you really feel like you've got Peter Parker, aka Tom Holland, in that suit while you're watching it. The storyline is simple, to be honest, but I think it'd have to be because it's really representing a young Avenger who is kind of, shall we say, just starting out. Basically, during fighting local crime he comes across some people who aren't your average bank robbers. In trying to inform Iron Man but hearing nothing back, he takes the matters into his own hands, and this is the storyline that he then follows. But between his best friend Ned actually finding out that he's Spider-Man, Homecoming coming up with his romantic interest in Liz, who is played by Laura Harrier, he's really conflicted throughout the whole movie. Now Zendaya, who plays Michelle, her character was very bigged up by the press. However, in the film, her character falls a little bit flat for me. I do understand that throughout the next few movies, she will become of more importance, but in this one, I kind of felt like there could have just been something that was a bit more standoutish for her nearer the beginning rather than just throwing it in at the end. I think there's some really great relationship unions in this film. You've got Ned and Peter Parker, and their friendship is obviously very strong. They're very reliant on each other. They're like typical high school best friends, and it's something that you relate to. They're people that you realise are fun and kind, and they just enjoy their childhood, and they're people that you would want to be friends with. I really enjoyed how heightened the paternal acts of Tony Stark are towards Peter Parker in this film. I feel like that's a really clever choice by Marvel. I think that's definitely going to work well throughout the rest of them. And even in this film, the relationship between Peter Parker and Happy is great. There's something about it that's kind of, it's very similar to how Happy and Tony are, that Happy's very sensible and he's like, you need to not do this, and he's trying to control Tony, but Tony's a bit crazy and in his own mind. Whereas then in this, Happy is trying to control Peter Parker and stop him from going too crazy and being more adventurous than he should be, which is kind of a way that reflects Iron Man in Spider-Man.
Hey, where are you going? What are you hiding, Peter?
So this movie is directed by John Watts, and this is actually one of his first proper big blockbuster, so I'm pretty sure they'll be asking him back again because I think he did a really great job. Either directing the younger group into being in such a natural school environment, as well as then completely contrasting it and pulling it into that world of Tony Stark and Happy, and being able to merge it in a way that works really well. Camera work was quite interesting, there was fluidity at times which was really nice. The production design was pretty great, Vulture's costume was phenomenal, and comedy in this film is the most successful it has been since the first Avengers. When watching Marvel movies, I understand where the humour is, but whether I actually physically laugh out loud is another matter altogether. But this movie had me cackling all the way through it. And I think it was kind of the innocence of it all as he's trying to hide his identity from everyone who actually knows him. And that awkwardness for a teen in high school is really played upon, and that's something that we haven't particularly seen in the other films. Although fair enough, Andrew Garfield is quite young in his film, he's still a very mature student. He's not going through that kind of, should I say, like adolescent puberty that Tom Holland experiences in this film. I think Michael Keaton was a great choice for this. He isn't just the normal villain, he is also quite sympathetic in ways. I kind of feel like what he's trying to do isn't just for evil purposes. It isn't just for him being quite a horrible person inside. It's actually that he does it for a reason, because it's something that he truly believes, and because he feels like he's trying to protect his family, which makes him very human as well. I mean, are there any more bird-type superheroes that he wants to try and conquer? I'm pretty sure this has to be the last one, it has to be. But yeah, a strong performance, believable and threatening, but in a less low-key, psycho kind of way. If you've seen The Impossible, you know that Tom Holland is a very talented young actor. However, I've got to admit, I really do enjoy the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and when I heard that they were making more, but yet again they were changing the lead character, I wasn't very happy. I was about as happy as I was that Ben Affleck was the new Batman. But as soon as I found out that it was Tom Holland, I actually settled into it very quickly. I knew he'd have something different to offer, and actually seeing his really cheeky persona in the Civil War movie, it stood out to me, and immediately I was like, I'm so excited for his individual movie. I think it's got to the point where the Avengers cast are so exhausted and they're so kind of angry and angsty about everything that throwing in that Spider-Man that's full of joy and life, and he sees the better and the more optimistic side of it all, absolutely broke that tension and made everything feel so much better. It was just exactly what they needed. So I will tell you more than anything else that Tom Holland is brilliant in this movie. Not only is he able to be funny and energetic, but also childish and kind, he's really able to portray Spider-Man's lowest points to perfection in a way that really makes you connect and sympathise with him, so we are so excited to see his growth in the next films. I had super high expectations and they were exceeded, so I was thrilled with that. So that is my review for this week done. Please go and see this movie. One of those where it's like, should I really give all my money to more big blockbusters? But I think out of all the Marvel movies that have been out recently, this one is actually really good fun. This one is kind of nice and it's different. It's a bit lighthearted. It's a bit less intense. It's a bit less Iron Man against Captain America and the politics of it all, and S.H.I.E.L.D. and all this corruption, and it's just a bit of fun. So if you like my review, give it a big thumbs up. Please comment below what you thought. Comment below if there's anything that you didn't quite like about it, because I would be quite interested to see what people thought. And subscribe to my channel because I'll have another review or some kind of video coming next week. So make sure that you click that button.